I'm Natasha Vaynblat. I'm a comedian that's New York based. I do improv, I do sketch, I do stand-up. I have an Instagram where I don't even really know what I do, but it's like fashion photos, but with comedy and characters. So I was an English teacher because I knew my parents wanted me to do something that made sense to them, but it wasn't my passion, so I quit teaching and pursued the thing I loved, which was comedy. So I tried to teach for as long as I could until I got to a point at UCB where just like time-wise, it couldn't work. So we would go in there to rehearse until like 3 in the morning. And then I'd have to get up at 6 in the morning to go teach a full day of high school. And so at that point I was like, well, now I'm very bad at my job. So now I ultimately, I can't do it well anymore. So that's when I knew I had to leave.
I think Taco Bell is doing such innovative stuff with Mexican food.
Every Damn Day is a pop culture talk show that comes on air Monday through Thursdays on Comedy Central's YouTube channel. And so we talk about pop culture and we have fun segments that we do, kind of like man on the street pieces, but all about pop culture. The submission to be on the show, actually anybody in the US could submit. Yeah, so they had thousands of submissions and there were 3 rounds. So after the first round, they narrowed it down, and then our last round, we auditioned for all of Comedy Central. So the president of Comedy Central was there, and then they all kind of voted and chose the final cast.
How many tacos do you think you've eaten in your lifetime?
Not enough. Please get this right.
Michelle, I'm gonna give you a real easy one because Ryan is getting full.
The premise was great, we'll ask trivia questions on the street, and if someone gets it right, they get a taco. And without missing a beat, I was like, can I be wearing a giant taco costume? And I truly don't know why, but they're like, yeah, absolutely, we'll look into options. You know what? That's my definition of success. My definition of success is having someone else pay for my wigs.
That's fashion. I'm Tina.
I'm Dina.
It was just a process of continuing to hustle in New York. So I was on various sketch teams at the theater and improv teams at the theater. Just through being on stage, I got a manager who saw me perform. I got the NBC Late Night Writers Workshop. I got an agent after that. Once you get to a level where you're able to receive packets and submissions for shows, that's how I was able to get on this show. I know it's false. That fear that you're an imposter, that you don't have this magical quality that true performers have.
Today, I'm going to teach you how to replace all the men in your life with potatoes.
I think it's getting better because now there's room for weird women. Men got to just be gross and awkward and strange, and it felt like if you were gonna be a woman, you still had to be a man's idea of what a woman should be on stage, and that is changing, so that feels really liberating.
We want to be aspirational.
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 That's right.
Emphasis on ass.
Okay.
Comedy is I think like any industry, it's really supportive and also really competitive. And I think that's because we've been fed a false narrative that there's only room for one at the top. Your friends will come up with you, and maybe the timelines will be a little different, but everyone will meet at the top together. The fact that you have a passion that will not go away, that is all the proof I think you need that, you have it and you're good enough. But I think having that fear and constant questioning is what makes a great performer. I think if you were truly confident, there will be no vulnerability, and I think being an inspiring performer requires you to show your vulnerability.
So, it's already happening, guys.
I have 2 mantras. One is salvation is in the work, because I find that whenever I'm feeling nervous, uncomfortable, stressed about my career, if I make some sort of art that day, so if I write a joke, work on a joke, go do an open mic, I always feel better. And then the other one I love is you have to make a seat for yourself at the table. If you're doing something that is different, new, it's gonna take longer to get yourself a seat at the table because you just have to build your own seat. So it's just gonna take a little longer. I would say I define success as having the freedom to make the art I want to make, and having particularly the financial freedom to make what I want to make. That would be the ultimate success.